Okay, so welcome back, guys. So today we're going to be working on creating the garment for this. So I have finally decided the kind of outfits I'll be going for this character. So it's something more or less like, let me see if I can find it in here. Yeah, something more or less like this. So it's going to be a hoodie with an outer shirt like so, but the shirts I'm going to be using this as my main reference. And then inside of it is just going to be a normal regular hoodie. Maybe in between I can add something like this in there, then use some of this as a reference there. But the arms is going to be folded, so I might not need to start creating this sleeve collar in here. So I'm going to kind of get this to be more folded, more or less like so. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to create is the hoodie. So I already have the pattern for this. So this is more or less like the pattern I'm going to be using for creating the hoodie. Let me see if I can extend this out a bit more and just push this up here. So let's start by creating the front part. So this is going to be a sleeveless hoodie. So I'm going to be creating a sleeveless hoodie for this guy. So I'm going to start by creating, let me create okay, let's use polygons instead. So the pattern is going to be more or less like this all the way down here. So I have like points like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have like 6 points to more or less like create in here. So I'm going to start like so all the way here. So for now I'm going to be drawing just straight, more or less like straight lines for now. Okay, extend this, holding down shift and extend this out. I think all the way here should be fine. Then to the origin point. Okay. So having something more or less like so. And I'm going to start modifying this. So I'm going to use the, what's it called again? It's not even showing the name. Let me see if I can open, okay, yes, edit pattern. So I'm going to edit this pattern. So I'm going to, I think this one should be slightly higher than the way it is right now. Something like this should be fine. This also to be slightly higher. I think somewhere around there should be fine. Okay. Maybe this is way too down. Raise this slightly up. And I'll select this line and I'm going to use the, why is not showing the name? It should be like the curve edge or something. So I'm going to curve this in from the center part. So I'm trying to be at the center of that line and have something curved in more or less like this. Okay. Yeah, this seems fine. Then I'm going to select this, go to this Oh God, what is it? What is this called? What is this called? Yes, finally, transform pattern, edit pattern, edit curvature, edit curve points, add point and split line. Okay, smooth curve. Okay, so that's fine. So now we'll go to the names now. So I'm going to select this pattern and I'll right click. I want to do a symmetry. Yes, where is it? Yes, symmetry pattern with sewing. Like so. I'll center this here. So I want to kind of stitch this together as one single piece though. I think I move. Let me kind of get them on the same line. Holding down shift. Select this guy, holding down shift. Select this guy, holding down shift, and move this aside. Okay. I might need to still add some curve in here. Yes, let me just do that. So anything I do here is going to affect the other side, which is exactly what we want. So edit curvature. I think I'll need to select. I think I'll need to first select that line and edit curvature. And just curve this down a bit more like so. Okay. Then I'm going to use this for the back also. So I will select. Okay, let's do a. So I'm just gonna merge these two together. So I'm going to select this. That should select the corresponding side. I want to do a merge. Yes. So I'll merge that into one single piece. So this will be one single piece. So this is going to be just one single piece. Okay. Then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to use this for the back pattern. So this will be for the back pattern. This is for the back pattern. Yes. So selecting this piece, I'm going to do a let's see. Yes, copy. Then mirror piece. Yes. Now paste this here. So we have this the other side now. This will be for the back piece. So I'll need to move this all the way to the back. No. Move this all the way to the back. Bring this closer here. I'll select these two. I need to raise them a bit, slightly higher, like so. This frontal piece should be somewhat closer. Like here should be fine. Then, as you can see, the pattern for this back piece is not the way it is here. Yes, the frontal piece is a bit lower, but here is a bit higher. So I will need to edit edge, edit segment, and I'll drag this. Okay, now there's an issue because of the curve points we have in there. So first of all, I need to kind of eliminate that curve point. Select that edge and I'll delete all curve points. So now I can select this point now, holding down shift. Something all the way here should be fine. Something around there should be fine. Then I can convert these points, select this point, I'll convert this point to curve. Yes, perfect. This is more or less exactly what we want. So let's start by stitching this up together. So yeah, one more thing though. Select the back piece. Then we need to, where is that? Invert. I want to invert normals on this. Okay, let me go back to the 2D view and select this pattern at the back. Don't know, I want to kind of remove. What is this line? I want to remove this line. I will need to reverse. I think I put it's not still showing. I may just have to do this manually. I want to kind of flip normals on this. Okay, I think we should show this. This should show here flip normal. So yeah, this is exactly what I want. So because this should be the part that should be visible to the camera, and the under parts should not be too visible to the camera. So this is exactly the way it should be. Alright. So first things first, let's start sewing this up. So I'm going to use the segment sew. Yeah, segment sew should be fine for this. Let me do this from the 3D view. So I'm going to stitch this to this. Taking a bit of time to load. Okay. So this is what we need. Then this to this. You want to make sure they're not crossing. These lines are not crossing. If they are crossing, then there'll be an issue with your sewing. So it should be, I think this is fine like so. Then I need to stitch this piece, this segment to the one at the back. It's a bit much easier to kind of do this, properly on the 3D view, so you don't have issues. Now this is an issue we have in here now. So you need to kind of flip this. I need to flip this. So I need to go in there and then select this. Right click on that. Select that sewing. Right click on it. Having an issue doing this in here. Let me use my mouse instead. Okay, so I'm going to use reverse sewing. Because we don't want them crossing like so. So this should be fine. Then I'm going to be using the GPU simulation because it's a bit faster. So I'm going to hit spacebar on this. Okay, that's sewed up quite nicely, even better than I thought, which is exactly what we want. Okay, let me just make some adjustments in here by pushing this out. Maybe it's just too tight. It feels a bit too tight around here. So let me stop the simulation. But before I continue, there's something I like to do. I notice that anytime I simulate with the default settings on top of my model, I tend to have the garments floating. Tends to be floating, like there's kind of gap in between here. So I'm just gonna fix that. So let's see if I can actually remember that setting I used. So I'll select the entire garment. Should be somewhere around here. Okay, it's not actually here, so it's actually on the model itself. So I'm going to select the model itself. So on that surface, it's called skin offset. So I'm just going to select this and zero this out. Let me just zoom in a bit closer so you guys can see the result after I hit simulate on this. You can see the gap in between it. Let me see, you can zoom in a bit more in here. You can see the gap in between here. So once I zero this out, and hit simulate, you can see it tightens on the model itself even more. So this is exactly what I want. Or probably maybe too tight on the model though. Maybe way too tight. Maybe I should use probably something around 0.5. Okay. Yeah, I think this should be fine. I can live with this. Any other issue we have, I can always fix in ZBrush. Okay. But I believe if I should use the smooth normal, simulate normal. And I simulate normally on this. It's going to be a bit slower though, because I don't have a high-end PC to simulate this as accurately as possible, but that doesn't seem to be doing so much. The difference is not much though. Let me just switch this back to GPU. So issues we're having in here now is for the arm. So I'm going to go to the edit pattern. Yeah, that should be the edit pattern. Yeah. So he's selecting that too. I'm going to select this. I'll do the same thing for the back piece also. Select this also. Holding down shift and selecting that also. Holding down shift and selecting this. Then I can use can just hold down shift and push this down. Okay. Then resimulate that. That should give us some opening in there. Let's see. Okay. Did that even fix anything? I think to some extent it did. Let's see how far out. Maybe we should push this down a bit more. Oh, now I'm pushing everything down. I don't want to push everything down. I also need to extend this forward a bit more. So I'll select this. I don't know why this one is not affecting the other side. But that's fine though. We'll just use the actual measurement for this. So I'm going to push this. So we're adding, let me put this all the way to value of 3. Okay. And I'll do the same for this other side. So I'm going to push in this all the way to a value of 3. Yeah, I think so around there should be fine. And I hit simulate again. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. I don't want to go overboard on that. That should be fine. I will still need to kind of fix the length of this though. And still we need to push this down a bit more. How far can we push this? I want to go to the extreme, but I want to kind of have just a little bit of gap in there. I hit simulate again. Yeah, I think I don't want to go overboard. I think this should be fine. It should be fine. So I'm going to go back to my main reference and then try to figure out the length for this. Let me stop simulation for now. Let me see how far out should this go. This one needs to come down way more. Okay, that's one. Taking note of that. The length, I need to bring the length. I need to kind of widen this out a bit more also. So I think selecting all of this, I will start by increasing the length all the way here should be fine. Let's start with that. Okay, adjusted, then expand this out even more like so. Now hit simulate on this. Okay, maybe I expanded it out on the wrong side, because I kind of like how tight this is. So I think the part I'm going to extend out should be see. Let me kind of move this way to create more space. Okay. Let me see how this is just this. Let me push this way. Maybe somewhere around, let's use 5. Same here also. The value of 5 should be fine. The distance just 5. And let's run the simulation again. Okay. Something more or less like this should be fine. Let me just push this out. Yes, think kind of like this. Still trying to figure out how tight the lower part should be though. Okay, let me make the lower part a bit slightly tighter than the way it is right now. Let's see if that changes or fixes anything. Maybe I can, you know what, I think I'm going to add it more or less like a band. Should be more or less like a band around this. So I have a few ideas in mind. So I'm going to draw an internal line for this internal polygon line. Let me try and figure out the height of this. Oh. Need to extend this. I hit shift to kind of F to kind of zoom back out. So I'm going to extend this out, holding down shift and click on the edge and hit enter to apply that. Okay. Let's see distance for this. That seems fine. So we have a distance of 5. I think I can, since they are not really more or less the same size, but I think I can select this segment, this internal line segment now. I think I can select this. Can I? I believe I can. Should be this 2. Is it? Yes, it is. Let me see if I can copy it. I want to try to duplicate this to the other side. Can I do that? Can't see any copy and paste, but that's fine. You can always draw another internal line here, keeping sure of the distance. So around 5. The other one was around 5.03. So let me zoom in even closer so you can get something around 5.03. Yes, something around, no, I guess I need to use my mouse for this to be more precise. 5.03. Yes, got you. I hit F. I think I went all the way out. I cannot. Okay. Now hold down shift all the way to the end and I'll click. I'll hit enter to apply that. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to select this and I want to select this to be this 2. Now do a cut and sew. Okay. I'll do the same for this piece also. Now do a cut and sew. That's separated. It is not separated. Supposed to be, yes, it's not separated because the segment doesn't, the point does not go all the way. You select that point and push this all the way. Lines and points are too close together. Please move the points further away from each other. Oh man. Let's see how we can fix this. Okay. I think I might need to redraw this again. No, I keep having this ish. Just trying to figure out what's wrong for this. What is this? I think I'll just have to delete this and redraw this again. Need to redraw that again. Getting a bit closer on this. Oops. Let me just redo this off screen. Okay, so I've done this off screen. I just redrew that again. And then I did the normal cut and sew, so it's working perfectly now. So this is exactly what I want. Right. Let's make sure there are no issues in here. So we have a bit of an issue in here. So we need to kind of sew these guys to themselves. There's an issue in here. So let's fix that. I think we're having 2 points in here. So let's delete any sewing we have in there first. Same for the other side. And this is becoming a pain. There's a tiny bit of swing in here that I don't need. Let me get a bit closer on this. Delete swing. Let's simulate this again. Yes, that seems to fix the issue on that side. So now I think we can safely go to segment sew now and then sew these two together. So that should fix the issue we're having. Yes, that seems to fix the issue. I think the color for this, I think I'm not going to change the color for this material. It's just way too bright. Way too bright. Maybe give it no. Something around there should be fine, I guess. Okay, something like this should be fine. We can live with this. So I'm just going to extend this. I'm going to select this segment, this line here, this also, and I'm going to push them up. I want to push them up a bit more. I think there's an issue in there. I'm seeing some kind of curve in there. I don't want that curve to be in there. Maybe I should select the points instead. I think the points should be better. Selecting the points should be better. Keep having this weird having this weird issue. .4. No, that's way too high. Maybe instead, let me do the inverse. Maybe instead I should let me select these two. Can extend this down a bit more. Way too much. Yeah, something like this should be fine. Okay. I also like to, let me see, let me extend this, let me extend the lower parts a bit higher. maybe around 211 should be fine. Do the same here also. 212, very close, that's fine. I'll do a simulation for this. It does not seem to be going up that much though. It seems to be an overlapping edge here. Seems to be an overlapping edge here for the front. Oh, let me delete this. I don't need this. Okay, that's fine. Still trying to figure out if the length of this is okay. Seems okay though. Color is still messing with my head. Maybe I should brighten up the overtone of the, okay, something like this. Maybe make this slightly reflective. Probably something a bit more reflective should help. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just to tighten these bands. So more or less like shrinking them. Shrinking both of them. So I'll select these two. Now I'll just shrink them on one side. Then do a simulation for this. Yes, something like so. Erase this off. Still trying to figure out how far down this goes though. Let me select all of these two specifically. More or less like the bottom parts, mostly the bottom parts. These two, and just push them up a bit more. And I think I went overboard. I think somewhere around here looks fine. Yes, perfect. Yes, this is exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. Yeah, this seems fine now. I know I've spent a lot of time in here already, but I just want to get this to look as good as I possibly can. So now for the color, I need to raise this down a bit more. Need to bring this down a bit more. Let me get some space in here. So select this edge and push this backwards a bit more. I believe this should affect the other side, and it's not affecting the other side. Seem to have lost that symmetrical nature to this. Let me see if I can bring that, if possibly I can bring that back. There's the link. No, this is just making a copy of this. We don't want a copy of this, but that's fine though. Let's just do this manually. That's completely fine. All I have to do is just to make sure the values are the same on both ends. Holding down shift. Let me take my hand off the shift. So let's do a two-ish. Let's push this around 2. So should be fine also for the other side. Let's run a simulation for this. Okay, getting there. I'll push this down even more. Holding down shift, I'll push this down even more, maybe around 3. Value of 3. Kind of like how this is angled though. Okay. We need a bit more of this. How far should we push this down? Make this curve. So 17. Around 17 should be fine. I'll do the same thing for the other side. And more or less the same. Okay. I think I'm guessing this should be fine for now. I guess. Let me just convert it to curve points. Run a simulation again for this. Okay, I think this is fine. So now I think I can safely create the Hoodie. I feel like I should push this down even more. Okay, I think this should be fine. So let's create the pattern for the Hoodie. So we have our pattern should still be in here. Yes, before we continue, let's just do a quick save. Just do a quick save for this. Okay. This is what we have. I'm guessing before I continue, let me just create this pocket piece in here. Yes, so this is more like a simpler shape to kind of recreate. So let me just recreate that. So we're going to be doing that on the front piece. I wish we still had this symmetry pattern in there. I'm going to eliminate this line. Okay, let me get this in place. So I know this is the center line in here. So let's see what we can make of this. Try to be a bit more accurate. Okay, all the way down. Like so. Since somewhere around here. No, makes sense. Oh, I kind of lost everything. Lost everything. So let me use something around 16. Let me get a closer view on. Something around 16.6. Something like it should be fine. 21. Wow, 16.6, 21.7. Don't know how perfect this will be though. All the way to the origin points. Okay, but I think I need to make some modifications to this obviously, so just to have numbers that correspond to themselves a bit better. We have 16.64 at the other side, so just kind of get something roughly around there also. I need to get a closer view on this. It's something like so. Select this piece, hold down shift to go on a straight line. So we had, it should be around 16. Okay, 16.68 seems fine. Okay, so in here we have 20. Let's select this. We have 21, 20. And do that. Now I'm seeing a big issue in here. These pockets are just way too big, way too wide also. But no worry, I think I know a way to kind of fix that. But let's just kind of carry on. So 21.72, and we have 21.49. Yes, let's get this roughly around 70, almost there. Yes, perfect. Nope, it is not perfect. It is not. Yes, perfect now. So the pockets are kind of way too broad though. So I'm going to select this as a full piece, and I'm going to squash. It's not affecting them on both sides. Is there a way to kind of make this affect on both? Let me see if I hold down shift, maybe that should. It's not. Maybe shift and alt, like in Photoshop. It's not also. That's completely messed up. But that's fine. Let me just see if I can. I want to be more precise on this. Be more precise on this. So I can actually see values in there. So I'm going to select these points and hold down shift and select these points. Then let's move this. Holding down shift, I'll move this. So we're having a distance of 4.55 now. Let's just get this around 6. Let's get this around 6. .603, okay. .603 looks legit. Let's see. Let me compare this to our reference image. I'm trying to be as precise as I possibly can before moving on. The height seems fine. So 6.03. Can I move this guy separate? Oh, I can. Oh, that's cool. So we have something around 6.03 ish. 0.4. Seems fine. Okay. Do a quick simulation for this. Let me just zoom back out and kind of visualize this and see how that is looking. Let's see. Seems fine. I think I can live with this. So I'm going to select this internal line, right click, and I'm going to do clone as pattern. To do a clone as pattern for this. To do a clone as pattern. Clone as pattern, I'll just drag this. Let me hold down shift so I can get this, drag this here. So I have this now as a pattern, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to select this piece and kind of move this in place. Kind of move this in place. Okay, that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this up to their corresponding segment. So segment sew. Let me do this from this view instead. Here we have a point in there. We don't need these points. We don't need the center points in here. So let's eliminate that. Same in here. Eliminate that. Okay. So back to segment sew. So I'll sew this to this part. Okay. Also, I think we can do this from this view now. We can sew from 2D view. You can say it's crossing, so I don't want it to cross, so something like this. Then I'll sew this like so. Then the under parts, sew this. Yeah, seems to have an issue in here, so it's going all the way. Should not go all the way. I'm going to use a slightly different approach for this sewing. I think I'm going to use this free sewing. Yes. So on this free sewing, I can select the points I want to sew to themselves. So from this, let me do this from this bottom part. From this point all the way to this point, then from this point, oh, it's crossing. Now it's crossing, but that's fine. What am I doing? I always seem to click on the space bar. Let me do this again. From this point all the way to this point, Then from this point all the way to this point, yes, think it apply. So apply that, I guess. Why is not showing? I'm done with showing. Don't know why it's not accepting. Is it accepting it? Seems to be accepting it though. Is it? Not so sure. Let's run a quick simulation for this. It's not accepting it. I haven't made a mistake. I'm not supposed to sew this segment together, but that's fine. I want to sew that. I have no idea why it's not sewing to themselves. Does not seem to be sewing. This is oddly strange. No worries, let's fix that. Let me delete the sewing on that. It seems oddly strange. Let's see, let's fix that. Don't need these points. There's a point here also, there's nothing in there. Let me do this segment so again, freehand sewing rather, from this point all the way to this point, and I'll sew this up all the way to this point, overlapping sewing lines. Okay. Let's see what we're missing in there and fix that up. Do delete sewing again. Let me delete sewing on this. That this part needs to be oh no. Okay. Maybe as it is now, we can do a better job by sewing this up properly. Let me just do a segment sew for this first. Now I'm thinking maybe instead of sewing this pocket to this piece itself, maybe I'll just sew it to this bound piece instead. So let's do that instead. So I'm going to use the freehand sew. All the way here. Let's sew this up. Let's see what we get. Okay. Something we can fix in here. So I like to fix I'd like to fix this up. Let's select and so I can move that point. So I want to delete this one in there. So let's do this more precisely. So I'm just going to this band. I'm just going to roughly get this in the center, something like so. Then this should give me a better angle to it. So this is more or less like in the center all the way down. So this should give me a clear idea of where this end should be. So this end should be around here, and around here also. So with the freehand sewing again, I will just do something all the way here and all the way here. I need to flip, I need to reverse that sewing though. So let's do it. So let's sew this up. Let's simulate this. Let's see what we get. Yes, it's better now. It's better now. So this is fine. Which is completely fine. I can definitely live with this. Okay. This seems fine. Yeah, this is fine. This will definitely work. So now that we have that in there now, in the next lesson we are going to create the hood for this. So we'll see you guys in the next lesson.